Today's episode comes to you straight from the Foundation Insurance Services podcast studio, your home for elevating voices, inspiring leaders, and building the community one conversation at a time. If you're enjoying the journey, we'd love for you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps these stories reach even higher.
Once football ended, I knew that I was done too.
You just checked out.
I checked out.
Yeah.
I remember walking off the field and being in the locker room and just feeling, I bawled my eyes out.
Yeah.
You know, I was hugging my teammates for the last time, my coaches, and knowing that this is what I've spent my whole life doing. I feel like that was my identity.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm still searching for
Who you are.
what my identity is outside of football because it's what I've known forever.
Hey there, welcome back to Above and Beyond, where excellence meets elevation. I'm your host, Jan Simon, and this season we're raising the bar, diving into the passion, purpose, and defining moments of leaders who don't just aim high, they live there. Big ideas, real stories. Let's get into it. Today's guest is Brock Mather, a former Division I linebacker whose life has been shaped by discipline, family, and competition. Raised in Ridgecrest, California, Brock spent nearly 2 decades on the football field, fulfilling his dream at Sacramento State, where he helped win a Big Sky championship. After college, he made the move to Arizona to join his dad and brother in the family ice and water distribution business, continuing a legacy started by his father and uncles. These days, Brock channels the same competitive drive into golf and into building something meaningful with the people he loves. Brock, welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you coming on. Let's kind of start out where we start with everybody, and I'm just going to start back, which we don't have to rewind super far. But tell me about Brock growing up. You grew up in Ridgecrest, California.
Yep.
Born and raised.
Born and raised.
Okay.
Spent 18 years there.
Okay. Farm kid.
Nope. Just desert. Just
Middle of nowhere.
riding bikes, dirt bikes, razors, that type of stuff.
Gotcha.
Bonfires.
Oh, nice. Is the weather similar to here?
Yes.
Okay.
So it wasn't too bad of a transition.
Hot and dry.
Yep.
Okay. I'm not sure I know where Ridgecrest is.
It's about an hour and a half northeast of Bakersfield.
Oh, okay. Okay. So kind of up in
2.5 hours north of LA.
towards what's the
Mammoth?
Yeah, the ski hill.
Mammoth.
Yeah. Out that direction.
Yep. So it's like 2.5 hours south of Mammoth.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So you're kind of out in the middle of the desert. When you're driving from here to LA, you're like, am I there yet? And you still got 2 hours to go.
Oh, yeah.
That's where you're in your hometown.
Yep.
And you look around going, why the hell would anybody want to live here?
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's
so
why I wanted to get out of there, you know?
yeah, growing up, you got a brother. I know that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Any other siblings?
Step, but no. Just
Okay.
me and my brother.
Okay. And how close are you guys in age?
18 months apart. I'm
wow.
older.
Okay. So almost Irish twins.
Yep.
Not quite. Real close. Real close. Road bikes,
Yep.
dirt bikes, quads, razors.
Dirt bikes, razors,
Okay.
BMX bikes. We had a desert literally across the street, so we'd go, take shovels, build jumps, that kind of
Nice.
stuff.
Is there a crazy YouTube channel for you that has dumb stuff?
No, me and my buddies tried it one time
Uh-huh.
when we got older, like junior, senior year of high school, and more so stand-up jet skis at the lake during the summer, going to Mammoth in the winter, and snowboarding and that type of stuff. Just, playing around when that kind of took off.
Yeah.
We gave it a shot to have some fun.
Could you do a flip on a stand-up jet ski?
No.
No.
I had a 1972 JS 550, older than my dad.
Oh, my
So
God. Did they make them back then? That thing must have been crazy.
It was so fun. So me and my buddies just spontaneous. One summer we were all just decided, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's try it out. So we hopped on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and we all drove down to wherever they were at and picked them up and took them to the lake. Couldn't even get up on them.
No kidding.
For like the first 4 hours we were out there. Couldn't stand up on them, and we were all so like, why did we do this?
Looks so easy.
Yeah. You watch these videos and stuff, like, why did we spend our money on this?
Yeah.
We can't even stand up. And one of my buddy's mom grew up riding them. She came down to the lake. It was like 45 minutes to an hour away. So she came down, jumped on it, and stood up right away and took off. And we were like, you got to be kidding me.
Game on.
She kind of gave us some pointers.
Yeah.
And we jumped on them and were able to rip them from then on. So it was
crazy.
It was a blast.
That's awesome. Could you do a backflip?
No.
No. I had a buddy growing up because they had stand-up wave runners or jet skis. I think that's what they were called. And he could do some crazy stuff on. I was the same way. I could barely get up on him. I didn't have the balance.
Mine was more so just cruise around type. Some of the ones they make are nuts, but those ones, they have like 2 throttles on them. One side is for the throttle, how fast you go, and then the other one actually can adjust where the jet is. Yeah, so you can lower it or whatever to prepare yourself up, and they have foot holders in them and stuff like that.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's when you're getting to the big money. We spent like $1,000 on ours, something cheap. We were just getting started and just wanted to go try it out.
So funny. I bought a 50cc motorbike when I was a kid. Just same thing. It was like, I don't remember where it showed up, but it was like all of a sudden this thing's available. I'm like, I could buy this. My dad's like, no. And I'm like, no, I've got this money. I'm going to buy this. And I bought it, immediately took it out, built a jump, and blew the drive shaft through the crankcase. I mean, it was like, I think I had the thing like an hour. Blew it up. It was like, okay, that was stupid.
You're working on them more than you're riding them.
Oh, yeah.
That's how it was with the Razor that we had, too. We transitioned to that early on. When we were younger, my dad let us ride dirt bikes and stuff. And then an accident in town, it was a small town, 30,000, 25,000 people. So everybody knew everybody. And a really good family in town, their son was just riding around at one of the parks and hitting some jumps and crashed and broke his neck and ended up passing away. And
oh, wow.
My dad never let us really ride after that. He told me when I turned 18, I could do whatever I wanted. So literally when I turned 18 and got access to my bank account, I went and bought a dirt bike, rode it for a little bit, and then ended up going to college, deciding to play football again and going to school. I got rid of it.
Yeah. It's crazy. I don't know if now looking back, I can remember things where my dad's like, no. And I'm like, you're just an ass. And now looking back on, okay, I kind of get it.
100%.
It's like, I can understand a little bit of that. Now growing up, did you play like Pop Warner football? Did you play other sports than just football when you were growing up?
I played baseball for probably 5 years.
Okay.
And that was it. Baseball and football. And then just fell in love with football.
Okay.
And just wanted to stick with that.
Yeah.
Stopped playing baseball and just rode with football.
Did you go straight from high school to college to play football?
I actually took a year off.
Okay.
It was a rough year.
Yeah.
In the Mather family household, my dad was
not happy.
Pretty upset, yeah.
Well,
which
your dad was a coach, right?
Yep. And like we were just talking about, you think, oh, dad's just being an ass, Now looking back after the memories and things that I've been able to create and look back on, I'm like, now I know why he was upset. Mm-hmm. So ended up taking a gap year after high school. Like 2 weeks before I was supposed to end up going to Victor Valley Junior College with my cousin. And I didn't want to go to school anymore. I remember the feeling of the day I graduated high school being like, I don't ever have to go to school again if I don't want to.
Yeah.
Skipped that year, watched football every Saturday and Sunday, college and NFL, and was like, what am I doing? I should be out there.
Yeah.
But when I look back on it, as, much as I understand it was a stupid decision, I try to also look at it as a positive, take those type of things from it. Like, I was 175 pounds in high school. I played left tackle, running back, and middle linebacker in the same season. Small town, don't have many kids to choose from. Played where my team needed me. And taking that year off allowed me to put some more weight on so that I could better prepare myself. Going into my freshman year, I was probably 195 to 205, so I was able to put on, 20 pounds of bad weight. Mm-hmm. Once I started getting back in the gym, I was able to, put some muscle back on and turn it into good weight. So, yep,
Well, I think sometimes, though, as hard as it is, especially as a parent, when you're watching a kid and you think, okay, he or she has really great natural talent that just needs to be honed in a little bit, right? And you want to encourage them to proceed, but you don't want to push them forward, right? So it's like, okay, this needs to be their decision. I think as an individual, whether it's coming out of high school into college, out of college into work, or just a career in general, sometimes it's good to be able to take a step back and blow steam, right? And just go, and because I think it allows you to fall back in love with whatever it was.
100%.
And I think had you gone straight to college, maybe you play a year and you burn out, and then you're done for good.
Yep. There was some other, factors that played into it. And then once I did end up deciding to go back, we went and checked out a couple different junior colleges, and I decided to go to Bakersfield.
Okay.
Bakersfield Junior College.
Did you walk on there? I mean, I don't understand, like the JCO stuff, because they don't offer scholarships and things.
No scholarships in junior college, yep.
Okay.
So, yeah, we went and checked a couple different ones out. My grandfather knew the head coach there, and it was close to town, so my grandpa had I think my grandpa played baseball there back in his day. I know my dad's older brother did, Troy. He played there, baseball there. And so there was some family history there, and went and checked a couple different places out. My dad went to Orange Coast, but
okay,
I decided Bakersfield, close to home. I think that was another thing, too. Another factor that played into my decision was I grew up playing with the same kids my whole life, from 6 years old until my senior year of high school. The same group of guys, we all played together on the same team, And then also, I'd never been away from home before.
Yeah.
And I think the closer that it got to that, it scared me, I was still a kid, and I was...
Totally understand that.
I didn't know if I was ready.
I was presented an opportunity to play college ball and turned it down because it was across the country. And I didn't understand. Like, I was like, small town, my parents didn't have money, and I thought, I'm going to go there. I will never be able to come home, right? It's like, that's on the other side of the world. And as a young kid, I think, there's weird things because from a time, you don't have the perspective of time yet, I don't think. I mean, at 18, 19 years old, when it's like you're trying to make these life-altering decisions sometimes, unless you have this burning desire that you're like, yeah, you know what, I'm the best, and people are fawning over you. And obviously now with the portal and all the other crap that goes on, there's just so much that goes into it. But I think, self-doubt, whether you had, your dad was a coach, my dad was a coach growing up, and I feel like there's this piece of it where you may or may not actually hear your parent, right? Because they're your parent. And then you kind of hear somebody else telling you, yeah, you're pretty good, but you don't really truly believe that you're as good as you probably are. And I'm putting words and thoughts out here, but it's one of those things where I feel like, you then go off someplace, and as a kid, it's like, there's this whole reality of I'm leaving home for the very first time. Whether you've been away for summer camp. I used to go to church camp all the time in the summer as a week. It's like, you're sad when you go, you're sad when you leave because you miss all the people that were there, that whole thing. But then it's like, now I'm going to be leaving home to go to college and not really know when I'm going to see my family again, right? And maybe you're going where there's nobody that you know.
100%. After growing up there, I never thought that I wanted to leave. I thought that's where my life was going to be. I thought that's where I was going to end up, forever, raise a family, all that stuff, until I finally got to get out and experience other places, this being one of them, and I never want to go back.
Right.
Obviously, like, my mom's still there, and my friends and stuff that I grew up with, and every time I'm pulling in that little hill to that little town, I'm already ready to go.
Yeah. And it's funny. My parents still live in my hometown, and I feel the same way. It's like, there are times where I like the thought of the slower pace that it was. But then I pull into town, and I'm like, yeah, there's just nothing to do.
Exactly. That's the biggest thing.
There's nothing to do.
We made it fun with the things that we did, but we're all older now. We all have our own lives. Like, yeah, I still have friends there, but they got jobs, they got families, they got stuff to do. It's not the same anymore. It's not easy to just be like, hey, what are you doing? I'm coming over. Come over. Everyone get together, and it's different.
So were you into music or anything in school? No choir, no band.
I did a little bit of acting when I was a kid, and I actually gave that up for football also. Okay. We were having to go down to LA almost one time a week, depending on what auditions I was getting called for. Wow. And I just got tired of it, having to miss practice, and thankfully never had to miss a game. It was usually always during the week that auditions were, but I just loved football. That's all I wanted to do, When I started out, I thought it was so cool. I got to be in a couple commercials, got to be in a movie, and just fell out of love with it. I just wanted to play football.
That's awesome. In your gap year, what did you do? Just hang out?
just hung out.
Yeah. Did you work for the family business?
Worked for the family business. Watched football on the weekends and missed it, and started getting back in the gym because I knew I was going to be getting ready to go. Yep. So told my dad, let's find a spot.
Gotcha. And then you went to JCO.
Yep.
You were there. Were you there for 2 years or?
Ended up being 3 because COVID.
Oh.
So 2019 was my freshman year. 2020 was a year off.
Mm-hmm.
And then second year was 2021.
Gotcha. And then how did you get to Sacramento State? It was Sac State, right?
Yep. Okay. Had a good freshman season and actually went on a visit to Fresno State and fell through.
Okay.
Which happens a lot. They first time they lay eyes on me, I've been told I was, undersized my whole life, which is another one of the things that I feel like drove me, But had a good, solid freshman season. COVID year happened, put more bad weight on. We didn't know what the world was going to look like after that, if anything was going to go back to normal. Classes were online. That's the year I came out here, fell in love with it out here, but just bad habits out here too. Working for the company, making some good money, and should have just been saving it up and
spend it.
Literally go to work, get home from work, go to the nearest bar, drink all night.
There's no problem with that.
But ended up putting on, bad weight again because of that, and had no money. Literally, we get paid every Friday, and by the time Thursday night, before Friday would hit, I have cents in my bank account.
Wow.
That's how bad it was. Every single day we were eating out, having a couple beers, and just...
Crazy.
I mean, it was fun, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But now that I look back, I'm like, I could have been getting ahead.
Yeah, for sure.
Learn, though.
Well, have not, want not. Is that what they say? I don't know how that works out, but what was there a point... Let's take it up to the end of JCO. Was there a point, through junior high, high school, that gap year into JCO where you had somebody in your life that believed in you to a point that you didn't believe in yourself, that pushed you to that edge, that said, hey, you probably have more than you think you do?
My dad, for sure.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, he grew up coaching my whole life and coached me through my high school years, and he ended up retiring because he wanted to follow me on my college career, and that's broke him when I decided not to go. And that whole year, we're watching games together, and he can see it on my face, and finally got the guts to tell him I made a bad decision. I want to play again. And he was the whole time, at first it was brutal. Like I said, it was a struggle in the house.
Yeah.
He was disappointed in me, but also was the type of dad that you're 18 years old now and you're going to make your own decisions, even if I don't think it's right. I'm going to tell you, but it's your choice.
As a parent, I think you internalize that, and then.
But the whole time, he kind of just told me stories and reflected on his college years and how fun it was, not only for him but his family. The way he was able to bring people together, and our family's tight, man.
Yeah.
And everybody's grown up playing sports.
That's awesome.
It brings everybody together throughout my whole career, high school, junior college, and at Sac State.
Yeah.
People traveled a long ways to watch us play and get to spend a weekend together.
That's cool.
So, but the whole time, he was pushing me, just telling me, like, go have fun.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Go experience something new.
Yeah. I was going to say something. I'll hold that off. Maybe it'll come out later, but we'll hold it for now. Did you have any failures in that point that drove you to that decision to where you didn't want to play football or you needed that gap year? Or was it just that you kind of got lost in the not really feeling like you wanted to go to school anymore? I mean, the academic aspect of it.
This podcast is powered by Above Par Network, where networking isn't about awkward mixers or endless pitches. It's about genuine relationships, real opportunities, and having a good time doing it. If you're ready for networking that actually works, visit AboveParNetwork.com.
This episode is powered by 5 Leaf Financial, expert accountants, tax preparers, and CFOs who help you make smarter financial choices. If you want peace of mind around your finances, visit 5leaf.net.
It was, it's embarrassing to say, honestly.
Okay. Was there a girl involved?
Yes.
There's
I was
always
so
a girl
young.
involved.
Like now when I look back on it, it's just embarrassing to think about that I let that affect my decisions as well, you know?
I don't know a guy that hasn't done that, so don't feel bad about it.
And another thing, you know, I take the positives from it.
Yeah.
Best decision I made in my life was deciding to move forward and do something new.
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause it wasn't good for me.
Yeah. That's tough, you know, because, well, I mean, we get into a whole philosophical conversation of dad type thing, but I feel like, and having grown up through that space where you find somebody who makes you feel good and you want to keep them happy. And sometimes, and I don't know if women do this because I'm not a woman, I wouldn't know, but from a guy perspective, I feel like sometimes we make sacrifices in our own lives to stop doing things that give us joy because we want to make sure that that person's happy. Whether they say it expressingly, you know, whether they tell us, stop that and I'll be happy, which they wouldn't do usually, or, you know, we just concocted in our head, oh, they seem happier when I'm not doing this. And so we back away from it. And I think that's human nature probably to some extent. I mean, I don't know all the ins and outs of your relationship.
100%. It was toxic and manipulation.
Well, at least you learned early.
100%. Best decision I ever made, you know.
Could have been 15 years down the road.
There's a lot of could haves that I think about.
All right, so you get out of JCO, get past COVID, you get to Sac State. Were you offered a scholarship at Sacramento State? Okay.
So I got a couple D2 offers at Bakersfield. Sacramento State was the only Division I school that had came through, and like I was saying earlier, I've always been told that I was undersized.
Mm-hmm.
I knew my potential on the football field. I knew the type of student I was. I knew what I bring to a locker room, to a team. Football is like size matters. It's
absolutely.
It's crazy, you know.
Well, and especially when you start looking at those D1 guys, and you're looking at freaking tight ends who are 6'5", 6'6", 320 pounds, and it's like, these are freaking mountains, man.
Yep. So I had.
You were a linebacker, right? So yeah, that guy coming across the middle, you got to take him out.
Yep.
You better hit low.
But that was the thing is, you know, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I'm like, I just wanted to tell these coaches. I was raised to be respectful and stuff, but I just want to tell these coaches, like, man, the film speaks for itself.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Why does it matter how big or small I am?
Yeah.
It doesn't. Put a 360-pound guy in front of me. I don't care.
Right.
That's how much I love this game. I'm willing to die on this field.
Yeah.
You know? Seriously, that's how I felt. That's the passion I had for the game.
That's awesome.
I'll do whatever I can to knock him on his ass.
Mm-hmm.
And so a couple D2 schools rolled through, and one of the recruiters that actually came to campus after we had done our kind of interview thing told me, okay, let's step outside and we're going to take a picture, Brock. This is what your scholarship is going to come down to when I send this picture to the head coach.
Just the picture.
And I remember thinking to myself, like,
stand tall.
punch you in the face, you know? Because like I said, man, the film speaks for itself, you know?
Yeah.
We just talked this whole time, and you picked my brain. You see how I understand the game. You see my passion for you.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm putting that energy, you know, into you. But my scholarship's coming down to a picture.
That's crazy.
And it was actually, I think he was like the safeties coach or something that was recruiting in that area. And the linebacker coach texted me later that night. And I held off on returning his text for a little bit and asked my dad, you know, what I should say to be respectful, but tell him. And I told him, the coach, straight up, I was like, listen, the guy came and told me that my scholarship is based on how tall I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not about that, you know. I'm not coming there.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold off and wait and see if anything else comes, but this isn't where I'm going. It was a Davenport University in Michigan. One. Cold as hell.
A long ways from home.
Long ways from home. And Sac State, a couple hours up the road, had a recruiter that came down, watched a couple practices and stuff, and I never got to talk to him really. He was talking to my coaches more, you know. And we ended up communicating through Twitter after he had came down a couple times, watched a couple practices, knew who I was, saw my game film, talked to my coaches to learn more about my character and who I am as a person and student.
Yeah.
And ended up messaging me on Twitter and telling me, I just want to let you know, we don't care about your size. We've seen your film and we've heard all about your character from your coaches, and we want you to come play for us. And I remember feeling, that's the first time that I've ever felt wanted somewhere.
Awesome. Yeah.
And I knew that's where I wanted to go.
That's so cool.
So after the season finished up, me and my dad went down there for an official visit, got to meet the head coach, linebacker coach, watch practice, watch some film, learn a little bit about their defense, check out the campus, and they offered me a scholarship at the end of it. And it was Thanksgiving week. I ended up flying back out here with my dad after, and the coach was like, I know Thanksgiving's coming up, I'll give you some time to think about it, talk with your family, whatever. Get back to me next week and let me know what the decision is. So got back to Arizona, obviously was ecstatic.
Right.
I was happy about it and everything like that. And I think the next day was Thanksgiving Day, and my phone started ringing, and it was him. I answered. I'm like, what's up, coach? He's like, hey, how's it going? And starts BSing for a few minutes, and what's your decision? And I'm like, he put me on the spot, I haven't even really had time to process this besides being excited. I finally got my dream, a Division I offer, somebody who wants me to come play for them. But I haven't even told my uncles. I haven't told my friends really, I haven't even had time to really, I feel like we just got off the plane back home. You told me you were going to give me some time.
Yeah.
And he put me on the spot, and I was like, hey, coach, I honestly haven't even really gotten to put some, thought into it. I kind of want to see if anything else comes to the table, feel it out. And he's like, that makes it seem like you're not interested. We got to go find somebody that can play linebacker for us. That's why we're recruiting you. And if I need to know what your decision is, because we're going to have to offer a scholarship to somebody else. And I got off the phone with him and went out and sat on the couch with my dad, and we started talking for a little bit. I'm like, hey, I need to make a decision like tonight, And so I called my uncles, got them, and my grandpa. I got them all on a group FaceTime and told them that I was going to commit to Sacramento State and go play there. And then I remember feeling a little overwhelmed at first because I got my first offer, and I feel like once you get one more start coming, I wanted to see what else I got.
Yeah.
But
did anything else come in after you committed?
Nope.
Okay.
So I feel like once you commit,
it kind of locks.
Teams stop reaching out and stuff.
Gotcha.
So I had to let all the other teams that had offered me a scholarship, I just sent them a text. I kind of just copy and pasted it, but added, hey, coach, so-and-so. Decided to commit to Sacramento State, blah, 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 whatever. But ended up being the best decision I've ever made, man.
That's awesome. I commend you for believing in yourself to the point where you believe that your size didn't matter. Because I can tell you from the other side of it, I mean, I told you I wrestled in college, but I also wanted to play football. And I was offered to play, but never really thought of myself as that great of a player. Now looking back, I think I was actually pretty decent. I mean, not D1 probably decent, but I thought I was think I was probably pretty good. But I remember going to the locker room at Central Washington University, and they had on the door a list of positions and basically the minimum size they wanted you to be. And in high school, I played quarterback and free safety. And I knew I wasn't fast enough to play free safety in any college, no matter what. But I was pretty decent quarterback. And it said like 6'3", 225, and I was 6'1", 165 pounds, dripping wet, and I'm like, well, I'm not big enough, so I guess I won't play, and walked away at that point. And I look back now and I think about, guys who are smaller quarterbacks in the NFL. And I think, I was big enough to play.
Yep.
I mean, it's all about heart. It's all about what you got to give on the field. And so I commend you for doing that, because I think, unfortunately, there's enough people that stop themselves because of that sheet on the locker room wall or whatever that says, you're not big enough. So, okay. Well.
Yep. Like I was saying, man, the passion, the heart, I loved it.
That's awesome.
I honestly felt, there's risks that come with anything that you do, but football's a violent sport.
Oh, absolutely.
You see stuff happen all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Season or career-ending injuries.
Yeah.
You got to think about your brain when you're done playing.
Oh, right, exactly. I still think about my brain to this day, thinking.
But I just always loved it so. I've never loved anything like that before. I loved it so much that I really truly felt like if I died on the field, I would be satisfied.
Wow.
I would be happy with my life.
Yeah.
And obviously, thank God that it didn't end that way or anything, but that's just the way that I felt.
Is there, I think when I was doing a little bit of research about you before, you were a running back for a little bit in high school, and then linebacker and running back and linebacker in high school, and then linebacker in college.
Yep.
Okay. So let's say as a linebacker or even as a running back, I mean, did you have like a beast mode situation where you ran through a couple guys, or is there a specific play that you remember on the defense where, you know, some big ass tight end was coming across the middle and he caught the ball and you just laid his ass out? You popped up and you're like,
a couple times. I don't think there's a better feeling, especially at my size, always being told that I was, too small to play the position. I don't think there's a better feeling than putting the crown of your helmet under a 6'5", 360-pound man's chin strap and watching him fall on his ass. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, split zone, tight end coming across a couple times, blasted, slot receiver running a slant route across the middle, and I'd see it and time it up perfectly and break it up and blast them. There's been a couple that I watch back on my phone sometimes, and it brings a tear to my eyes sometimes because there's no other feeling like that in the world.
You know what's funny is I remember in high school, and I don't remember who it was, whether my dad or another coach had told me, if you hit that person harder than they hit you, it's not going to hurt. So I just kept that in my head, right? It's okay. I don't care how big that guy is. If I hit him harder than he hits me, it's going to hurt him, not me. You know? And I can remember a couple plays like that where it's like, some weird crossing route or something, and I'm playing, strong safety, free safety, and you see it, It's like you see that play develop, and you're like, oh, I know exactly where this is going.
One of the things that I feel like really helped me and my game and the way that I saw the game also was I played left tackle in high school. So I knew all the blocking schemes because I did it.
Gotcha.
So I was able to take that with me, and when I would read my lineman keys and see their first step, I would know where the ball was going. I just feel like that was my gift, was I just had a nose for the football, and I was fearless. I did not care how big you were, how fast you were, how strong you were, how many offers you had.
Any good gaps you hit where you blasted the guy in the backfield before?
Yes.
Where it's like all of a sudden you're like, how did I get through there and not get touched?
In junior college and high school. So the higher that you get up, defensive schemes change. You have a responsibility. You're not. My whole life, high school and junior college, I was a free player.
Just go get the ball.
My coaches knew, like, this guy's got a nose for the football. He's going to find it any way, shape, or form that he can.
Gotcha.
And we're just going to let him because he's not going to be wrong.
Yeah.
And once I got to Sac State, that's where I had to kind of relearn the game a little bit because I had a job. Every individual on the field has their own job and responsibility. And if you're not in the right spot, the dude on the other side, just as good, and he's gone.
Gotcha.
So cut back responsibility, force play. Like, it's not just, oh, he has the ball and he's going this way, I'm going to go get him. No, you're on the backside, you're the cutback player, and you better stay there because if that guy's running that way and he sees a lane, he's good enough to put his foot in the ground and take it to the house.
The other way, yeah.
So I had to play the game a little bit differently than I was able to growing up, and I still did it successfully. That is probably the one and only thing that if I could have changed, I would. Because I played that way for 14 years of my life.
Yeah.
Just find the football and hit whoever was in my way until I got there.
Yeah. Well, and I think in high school, at least where I grew up, because we had really small team. Bug in my face here. We had a really small team, and so there wasn't a lot. Everybody played both ways and whatever. But there were enough guys on the field that didn't know their assignments, where it's like you kind of had to play that way, right? It's like, okay, if I'm playing strong safety and I got the corner on this side and he's up against, their number one receiver, okay, I know I got to cover for him. So now I'm like watching that and paying attention to what's going up here. And so rather than, sitting back in a zone or whatever it is. And so I think at that level, it's kind of, there is a free for all type thing. Now, I don't know in the larger schools, maybe it's different. But then once you get to, JCO, it changes probably a little bit. And then you get to D1, obviously, is, basically a step down from pro. And I heard somebody say at one point, the difference about D1 and pro is the guys that are on the pro on the field in pro that are the starters. It's like they understand, like you just said, they understand that they have a job specific to them and they do that job, right? And they know that their buddy on the right, the buddy on the left is going to do their job. And so it's like, okay, I got this piece of the field I got to worry about, and I just do.
Big thanks to Meritum USA for sponsoring the show, helping businesses simplify payment processing and reduce unnecessary fees. If you're tired of overpaying to accept cards, it might be time for a better option. Learn more at meritumusa.com.
This episode is supported by Rocks Ink Calligraphy, where every piece is created by hand and designed to be remembered. From custom calligraphy and engraving to live event personalization, Rocks Ink turns meaningful moments into lasting art. Learn more at rocksink.com.
I've never felt more pressure in my life than when you're in a meeting room with your coaches and they throw you the marker and tell you to go up to the whiteboard in front of everybody and draw this scheme against personnel on offense.
Oh, yeah.
Sweating bullets.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's nerve-wracking.
I'm sure.
And that was one of the things that helped me catch up at Sac State was in my free time from classes. If I had an hour break, couple hours in between classes, whatever, I would meet up with my linebacker coach my first year there. I got there in January, so I was a spring transfer, so I got to be with them through the whole spring instead of coming in the summertime just before season.
Yep.
I was able to get a little bit ahead that way, but I've never stood on the sidelines in my life. And I didn't want to – I got my dream opportunity to go play D1 football, and I didn't want to stand on the sidelines there. I wanted to play. I wanted to be a starter.
Yeah.
So every chance that I got in between classes and free time, I was going to my coach's office, and we were watching film, and I was learning the defense, and I did everything that I could to put myself in the best position possible to learn it as quickly as I could and get on the field as quickly as I could.
Fast forward to today, when you guys are watching football on TV, are you calling out schemes? Are you saying, I missed this, missed that, whatever?
I try to just watch it and enjoy it now. I try to just watch it and enjoy it. Yeah. Once you start thinking like that,
who missed their assignment?
Yeah, I have a desire to get into coaching one day, and I know that that'll get me back into it that way. I'm still held on to all my playbooks and stuff from school. But, yeah, when I watch it now, I just want to sit back and enjoy it, yeah.
Be entertained.
Yeah.
All right, so off-the-wall question. You've got tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
When was your first tattoo, and what did your dad say about it when you got it?
It was like 3 or 4 days before my 18th birthday.
Okay.
My mom went with me, signed for me and everything, and it was my 18th birthday present from her. He knew that I was getting it.
Oh, he did know. Okay.
It was the lion right here, so it was hidden.
Okay.
He wasn't happy about it, but he knew about it. And once I started getting my forearm done, he thought I was going to be one and done, you know. I got this bicep done and then this one, and I started doing my forearm, and it was in the middle of summer. Same weather as here, middle of the desert, hot as hell.
Yeah.
And I was wearing a long sleeve shirt every day because I was trying to hide it from him. Literally after like 3 weeks of having it, we're in the kitchen one day, and he looks at me and goes, I know you have tattoos on your arm, right? And that's all he said. And I remember just looking at him and thinking to myself, like, so you've just been watching me be miserable all summer. Why did you take so long to say something? And he's like, you're the one that was hiding it from me. Why did I need
Yeah,
you?
why do I
just
need to
told
say-
me, you know?
That's awesome.
But
That's funny.
I think that he kind of just accepted it.
Yeah.
Me and my brother, another silly phase when I look back at it, we got our ears pierced. And he always told us if we ever came home with our ears pierced, he was going to rip the earrings out of our ears.
My dad said the exact word for word. You ever come home with the ear pierced? I'm ripping it out.
Me and my brother went through a little phase, all of our buddies, where we just wanted to be kids that wanted to do what our parents didn't want us to do.
Of course.
Decided to do it, and I remember the first time I showed up to him with them in my ears, and I was scared. I was terrified because the look on his face and the things he was saying to me, man, I thought they were coming out for sure.
That's awesome.
But
How long did they last?
I wore mine for a couple months. My brother wore his for a long time, actually.
Did he?
Yeah, but we both grew out of it, which thankfully.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, another one of those things. I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Why are you doing that? It's funny because my dad was old school. My dad was old school, and in fact, to this day, he's not ever said anything about my tattoos. Like, his mom, my grandmother, is the only one that I think I remember on my side of the family that has actually asked me about what they mean, type of thing. And she's passed since, but my dad's never asked me. Word for word, you ever come home with your ear pierced? I'm ripping it out. Yeah. And I was fighting forest fires and probably drinking a little bit too much one night, decided I was piercing my ear, took a stud of some girl that was a firefighter, popped it through my ear, went home. Same thing. My dad looked at me. He's like, what is that? I'm like, what are you talking about? He says, what's in your ear? Nothing. Why? He goes, what is that earring in your ear? I'm like, oh, that. It's like, yeah. No, and I thought same thing. He's going to rip it out of my head. But he didn't.
Yep.
He didn't. My dad had a way of disciplining us without disciplining us, like self-discipline. I remember one night, my buddy and I probably shouldn't admit this on the air. My buddy and I in high school, we went to a dance with this girl. I will not name her, but she had a 2-liter bottle of what she called dynamite. And she basically had taken a little bit of every kind of booze in her parents' house and dumped it into the 2-liter bottle so that her parents didn't know that she had taken some of the booze, right? But she had a 2-liter bottle of booze. Yeah, we got a little bit messed up before we got to the party or to the dance. And my buddy who was with me, one of the teachers came up to me and she says, hey, where's so-and-so? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like pressing myself against the wall because like, everything's moving. And she says, well, come here. So she takes me out and my buddy's out in the front of the school naked, just dancing around. Oh my God. So they're like, we're going to call your parents and have them come get you. No. My parents aren't home. I'll call my brother because my dad's a teacher and a coach. And so I call my brother. He comes and gets me. And at the time we lived out of town, and my bedroom, we had a garage or a carport that entered into the house. And then my bedroom was right to the right, and then kitchen was to the left, and then the rest of the house was in the back. So you could get into my room without having to go into the house. But there was then a door out of my room into the house. Well, I had 2 twin-sized beds, one on each side of my room. Don't know why, but I did. And I go in, sit down, start taking my shoes off. My dad's like, you been drinking? I look, I'm like, oh shit, because it's dark. I didn't know he was in there. I'm like, oh crap. Yeah. He goes, okay. He gets up and walks out of the room. I'm thinking, oh shit, I'm dead, right? Woke me up at 5 o'clock that morning. I was out splitting wood until noon, hung over as hell, splitting firewood. It was the worst. Never said anything after that. My God, that was horrible. It was like the worst hangover.
Oh, I bet.
I mean, but yeah. I mean, he plenty of times used a stiff hand or stick or whatever was close enough to hit me with. But
when we were younger, we definitely got the belt and stuff like that. And they were both pretty strict. As we got older and when they ended up deciding to go their separate ways, my parents is when I feel like things got more laxed.
Oh, yeah.
We had a little bit more freedom. Obviously, there was still the discipline there, but it was not as much. Get bend over the bed.
Yeah.
Take this belt to you.
Yeah.
It was just, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Make good decisions like you always have.
Yeah.
And that was the way that it was most of the time growing up. We got the belt, like I said, but once we got older, it was more so just, hey, I know you're getting older and you're going to start, drinking and doing things. Just, if you're going to drink, never get behind the wheel. Give me a call. Be smart. Don't do anything that's going to put your future in jeopardy,
Yep. My dad used to tell me, he'd say, two things he used to say: if you ever need to use me as an excuse, do it, but then make sure you tell me why or what you did. Like if you need an excuse to get out of a situation, you're in a bad situation, use me. The other thing he used to say is, if you're ever in a place where you have been drinking or that happens and you need a ride home, I will pick you up, no questions asked. We'll work it out the next day.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay. But thankfully, neither one actually ever happened. I mean, I'm sure I probably used him as an excuse at times where I'm like, yeah, my dad would probably kick my ass if I did that. But I'm not, I don't remember any. But anybody, obviously your dad was influential in your life. Was there anybody else going through, maybe when you got off to college or when you were away from home and started kind of developing into more of a D1 player? Was there anybody that influenced you that direction that maybe believed in you on a deeper level there?
I would say probably my grandpa. He was calling me daily after practice. And if it wasn't daily, it was, every other day, multiple times a week, just checking in on me, seeing how practice went, how I'm doing with the transition and everything. And that really made me feel like I was explaining earlier how sports brings our family together. Having somebody outside of my mom or my dad checking in on me like that every day, I knew that I was doing it for more than just myself.
Yeah.
It wasn't just my dream. I was bringing my family closer by giving them something to do every weekend, something to watch every weekend, and they were banking on me too,
Yeah. What ended the football career? Was it school got over, or was there something else?
As far as why I didn't continue to play?
Yeah, I mean, could you have? Because I don't know. Do you think you could have?
Not in the NFL.
Okay.
I think I could have probably went and played in the CFL or indoor football league or something like that. Kind of like how we were talking before. Burnout's a real thing, man. I did it my whole life, and there was times throughout my whole career I took that gap year, and especially at the D1 level, like fall camp. And there's sometimes, summer during the off season where it's just brutal. And then even in season, you make a run, you're playing 14 games, 15 games.
Week after week.
It gets to a point sometimes where your body's banged up. 1 week in between isn't enough time to recover.
Yeah.
You're playing hurt. You're playing injured. And you still got to go to school. You still got papers to write. You still got speeches to give, all this stuff, projects, group projects. It's tough.
Yeah.
School and football is the most difficult balance for sure. A lot of times, both my junior and I think that's when it really set in for me was at the D1 level, because I've always been a good student, but like I said, with football, the higher up you go, the more difficult everything gets. It's the same thing with school.
Yeah. Did you guys have, like in wrestling, preseason, it was pretty much like one practice a day. I mean, it was, either you're just doing drills or you're running or working out. Once we got into season, it was weights and cardio in the morning, and then we were drilling in the evening. Did you guys have 2 days through the season, or was it more you're just doing walkthroughs, learning schemes of what the team is that's coming up that you're going to be playing, and how they work, what their quarterback's like, that sort of thing?
In season, it's definitely a lot more relaxed, because so we would go like 3 days in shells, 1 day in just helmets, and then there would be 1 day in full pads, 2 days in shells, 1 day in just helmets, and then travel if we were out of town, or walk through practice if we were at home. But off season, brutal. Fall camp is the hardest thing in the world. It's 3 weeks before season starts, so a month straight of 10 hours a day. Like, you're living in the facility. Our locker room had air mattresses that people would bring
Oh, no kidding.
to lay down and nap. We had an hour and a half break,
Wow.
but we were literally there from 8 a.m. and it's weights, meetings, and then practice, and then weights, more meetings, and then dinner and go home. So they fed us breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Mm.
We were there from 8 in the morning. It might have been earlier than that. It might have been like 7 until like 6 p.m.
Wow.
And
Brutal.
thankfully that's right before school starts as well, because there's no chance
During
that
school.
we would have been able to
That'd
do
be
that during
rough.
school. But, man,
That'd be rough.
my first go at that, I was like, holy cow.
Mm.
Overload of information. You're trying to, there's just polishing things up. Season's right around the corner. You've been learning it this whole time, but now they're just jamming it in you, playbook, putting the weight on, you're hitting the weights hard,
Yeah.
practicing hard, full gear, tackling, getting you ready for as a defensive guy, getting us up to game speed and
Yeah.
making sure that we're tackling guys and getting ready for it. There's nothing like that.
Yeah. That's crazy. So, what's your degree in? Or what did you go to school for? I shouldn't assume that you have a degree. I'm guessing you do, but I don't know if you do or not. So
I have an associate's
Okay.
in psychology, and I still have 2 more classes that
and you haven't finished them. You just take online classes.
I know.
Just go
I
do
need
it.
to.
Just get it
The
done.
last 2. So
And then at least you got the piece of paper. It's not going to do you any good, but at least you got the piece of paper.
one of them is a writing intensive class, and what sucks is both of them I was doing so well in the whole year, and once football ended, I knew that I was done too.
You just checked out.
I checked out.
Yeah.
I remember walking off the field and being in the locker room and just feeling, I bawled my eyes out.
Yeah.
I was hugging my teammates for the last time, my coaches, and knowing that this is what I've spent my whole life doing. I feel like that was my identity. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm still searching for
Who you are.
what
today.
my identity is outside of football, because it's what I've known forever. And I checked out. I had a fallen out with one of my partners in our group project in one of the classes, and that checked me out. And the final in the writing intensive class was a 12-page paper. I got about a page and a half in, and I remember just going blank and being like, screw it.
Don't
I'm
care.
already threw
Yeah.
the peace sign in on that other class, so
Yeah.
why not just add another one to it? And this will be the 3rd year now, but I'm gonna get it done eventually. I say I needed a break, and now that
I mean,
hear that, I'm like, okay, well, it's been 3 years. You've gotten a break. but-
listen to yourself. I mean, if you had 40 credit hours left to take, it'd be one thing. You got 2 classes.
I know.
Man. You got 2
Communications is what it was.
classes. Communications. Okay.
So I studied business and all the way up until my 2nd year at junior college during COVID, and I was out here, and it's when everything went online because they shut school down, and it was new to everyone.
Yeah.
Professors, us, and that semester I had to take finite mathematics, which I've always struggled in math throughout my whole life. I mean, I've dropped a couple classes in high school because literally I'd be sitting up there looking at the board, and I'm looking around on my classmates, and they're nodding their head, and I'm like, did I miss a week or something? I had finite mathematics and business law in the same semester, and it was all online, and it was like I was trying to teach myself, figure it out myself. You're watching, these teachers are doing recorded lectures that you got to watch an hour for, and it's hard to have that attention span to
for sure.
take all that information. And then you got an exam. Well, guess what? Since you can't take it in my classroom, it's on the computer, but your camera has to be on, and you can't have any other tabs open on your browser.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm kind of screwed then. So I ended up dropping business, and then I started doing psychology. That's what I got my associates in, and I started in. No, I skipped one. After business, I did kinesiology.
Okay.
Wanted to do some sports med thing or
Yep.
something. Once we started getting to the upper chemistry classes and
A
stuff.
lot of memorization. There's a ton of memorization.
Yeah.
That's my degree is fitness and sport management, but kinesiology, physiology, a lot of memorization.
Same kind of thing. Some of those classes, I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So I started doing psychology, got my degree in that, and when I got to Sac State, started with that, and some interesting professors and students. No offense to anybody that's in that, but not for me.
Gotcha.
So I decided to.
Well, you were in
go to
California,
communications.
so
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I got to say.
Yeah, 100%. I did not fit in those classrooms.
Yeah.
And it makes me sound like a bad student. I feel like 4 different, things that I studied and couldn't make up my mind. Oh, that was too hard. I wanted to play football.
Yeah.
Like I said, I took the gap year because I didn't want to go to school anymore.
Totally understand.
But guess what? You can't play football without going to school.
Right.
So, for being honest, I chose the easiest route I could.
Hey, you know what? I hear a lot of myself in you because I went to college because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. I wanted to play sports. I was always playing sports. I played football, and then I wrestled, and then I played baseball and golf. So, I mean, baseball and golf's kind of flipped. But when I got to college, it's like I went to college and wrestled. It's like just what you do. And I wanted to play football, but then I decided, well, the list says I'm not big enough, so I guess I can't play. And I started off in business, and I took my first accounting class, and I'm like, what? A minus is a plus, and a plus is a minus? I can't do math as it is. And you're telling me what? That sucked. And then I switched to music, and my music instructor thought that I would be a great tenor, operatic tenor, which sucked. And then from there, I think is when I got into kinesiology, physiology and stuff, because I thought, well, I'm going to be either a physical education teacher and a coach, or I'm going to go into strength and conditioning. And then by the time I got done, get me out. I was done. And then I tried to get into physical therapy, but I didn't have good enough grades at that point. It was like, you can't get into school with a 2 whatever I had. So, but I was done. The same thing. I mean, I was never a good student. I just showed up. I was a good athlete, and teachers liked me.
Yep.
That was it. So it was like, I showed up.
My parents always harped on, coming home with good grades, showing progress reports, and if there's anything lower than a B on there, I mean, they weren't happy with C's.
They would have hated me.
I just had that drilled into me forever. I had a couple semesters where I was a 4.0 student, and that's a good feeling. Yeah. And I wanted that to be what I my goal for every semester and stuff. And the higher you go, the harder it gets. I also
4.0, not even in kindergarten.
It's tough. It's especially like we were just talking about with balancing sports and school. But when I think about that, I'm like, all these other students on campus, or like even my friends that just went to college and didn't play sports, I'm like, how?
Yeah. How are you not getting an A? I mean, how are you not? That's a great point, because I think about that. I mean, and when I was in high school, I mean, college was a totally different thing. In college, like I said, we had weights and cardio in the morning, and then you'd do classes wherever you fit them in, and then we'd do drills in the afternoon, unless there was matches or we were traveling or things like that. In high school, I had what now they consider 0 hour, so I had jazz band in the morning, and then you go to school, or you had jazz band or sports, if they had 2-a-days, sometimes they have 2-a-day type stuff. And then you get into all your classes, and then after school you've got whatever the practice is. And then sometimes there's something, it's like, dude, I was going nonstop. And yeah, I sucked. I mean, I was not a great student. I think I graduated with a 3-something in high school and a 2-something in college, but it's one of those things where it's like, I think about that. I think about kids who just go to school. It's like, how can you not get great grades if all you're doing is going to school? I mean, granted, some people have a hard time learning and whatever, but it just blows me away.
100%. Well, and also, I just was always curious, what drives them? Is it just, the workforce after this? Are they trying to go for a certain job? Because I feel like a lot of people who get degrees in one thing don't end up doing what they have their degree in.
Yeah. Oh, I would say the majority of people don't.
Yeah.
Unless you're, a doctor, lawyer, computer, something.
Yep.
It's funny because my brother, who just retired, which makes me feel even older than I am, is a mechanical engineer. He went to school for engineering. And I'm like, and that's just blows my mind, right? The amount of math. You talk about math.
Yep.
It's like, blows my mind. But that type of thing, it's like if you're going for something very, very specific, I understand it. But I feel like there's so many kids and I say kids, people that go to school now because that's what you're supposed to do, that are getting degrees in, whatever, underwater basket weaving or whatever, just because they're there to get a 4-year degree. And it's like, well, what are you really learning while you're here that's worth being here, And then what are you going to do when you graduate? It's like you said, what's your drive? What's your motivation? What's, I don't know, take you to that next level.
Yeah.
Speaking of, looking right now through your eyes, through your perception at your ripe young age, what does success look like to you? How do you define success? Let's do this. How did you define success when you were playing football and you were in college? And now looking forward, what would success look like to you?
This episode is made possible by our partners at Best Option Restoration. When water, fire, or mold damage hits your home or business, you need a local team you can trust to respond fast and do it right. Learn more at bestoptionrestoration.com.
Shout out to Guidance Alliance, a trusted peer advisory group for business owners who want honest answers, not motivation posters. Small groups, weekly sessions, ideas that actually work. Visit guidancealliance.com to learn more.
During football, I would say just following through with what I believed in myself and proving everybody that ever doubted me wrong. All the people that always told me that I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Proving them wrong. And today, I would say I have so much pride in the family name and the family business and watching what my dad and his brothers have done, what they've created from literally the ground up, from nothing to what it is today. Just being able to be a part of that now and do what I can, continue to learn from them and do what I can to one day continue to carry it on and take it to the next level.
Mm-hmm. What do you do? So Mather Brothers is the name of the business. Mm-hmm. And I turn my Kirkland water bottle around and turn your Mather Water Brother bottle first. What do you do for the business right now?
So right now, my title is operations manager.
Okay.
I have taken on the snow. So I'm doing a lot of the snow right now. We
Very
have
cool.
Wintertime is when it's crazy.
Yeah.
There's still some in the summer, and we still are having some that we're finishing up for the year. Snow and events. So the bigger ones my dad has to have his hands in, waste management, Barrett Jackson, because
yeah, it makes sense.
It's a lot.
Yeah, you screw that up.
Yep.
That's going to look real bad.
But the smaller ones where, it's an event trailer, just making sure that we have the equipment, communicating with these customers and getting them the prices and making sure we have the equipment, getting it loaded and getting it there. And then just slowly learning the ropes more and more. Just, we share an office, so getting to hear the way he communicates with customers and sitting next to him and watching.
Learning what not to do.
What he's, yeah, sometimes for sure. Well, I wouldn't say that on the phone.
Yeah. Okay. Note to self. That's not how I would have handled that.
Yep.
Where do you see, I mean, obviously they've built something quite remarkable, and they're in 3 states, California, Nevada, and Arizona, correct? Mm-hmm. As you get your fingers in, do you see opportunity to help grow the business? Do you want to push the business bigger, further, faster?
I think that we could, for sure. Texas, Florida, I think that we could. Those are not bordering states like California, Arizona, Nevada are, so it'll be more difficult. But I think that there's potential there. I think that if we continue to push the water, it could be the next big explosion because unlike the ice bags, this has our name on it.
Yeah.
Everybody needs it.
Yep.
And also, me and my dad and my brother, we throw some ideas around every now and then of dabbling into something new, too.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and that's great. That's great that you guys have that relationship that you can think about that, throw it around. Hey, let's peruse this idea, see where it goes. What's the scariest yes you've ever had to say?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. Ooh.
Sadie Hawkins? I'm just kidding. She was scary.
Oh, my gosh. I don't know, man. That's a good one.
If you can't think of one, we can jump on. It's just one of those things where it's like I think about, okay, you know, whatever it is, you know, moving into, you know, a new realm or a something, you know?
Gosh, I don't know, because I feel like everything in my life has kind of played out in my favor. I've wanted to do everything that I am doing, and I don't know if there really is anything that I've had to say yes to that I was like scared about.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. That's an interesting one.
Fair
I
enough.
don't know if I can think of one.
Fair enough. You'll be laying in bed tonight at 2 o'clock in the
for sure.
morning,
Like,
and you go,
gosh,
I remember.
yeah.
Remember what I should
If
have
it
said.
pops in, I'll for sure, we could touch back on it.
There we go. We'll do a little cameo spot.
Yeah.
If you could go back to a younger self, let's say 13, if you could go back to your 13-year-old self and give yourself a piece of advice, what would you tell yourself?
Stay away from girls.
Only go to guys?
No, that's not what I mean. Just besides football and Sac State, I feel like the most fun that I had in my life was in high school with my buddies. We were talking about earlier, the jet skis, the snowboarding, the desert stuff, every day together. And if I could go back and change one thing, it would be just focusing on my friends and that type of stuff, and not worrying about a silly high school relationship that I know isn't going to last. And I think about it a lot to this day. For when I start having kids, I'm not going to be the dad that's going to be like, no, you're not allowed to date until this age. But I do want to put in my kids' heads, listen, it could affect some, not only decisions, but things that you might miss out on because you're worrying about something else that isn't going to be there later down the road, you know?
It absolutely.
Honestly, it sounds funny, but that would probably be one of them, is just enjoy your youth while it is, because I'm going to be 26 in 2 weeks, and, you know, you grow up your whole life with people telling you every year the year goes by quicker. And I remember getting ready to go to college, and fastest 5 years of my life.
Yeah. And it's crazy because I used to, when my daughter was born, she's 30 now, but when she was born, people are like, enjoy it now because it's going to go really fast. And it used to just bug the crap out of me. I'm like, shut up. And now I look back and I'm like, holy crap. And every year goes faster and faster. I can't believe we're already in February. And I'm like,
exactly.
Freaking blinked, man.
It's crazy. It's scary to think about, honestly.
It is. It totally is.
Because I feel like, you know, growing up, playing football and sports and stuff my whole life, I had the same routine. I was used to it. And now I'm doing something new in a new place, still trying to, you know, find myself. And you still have your routines and stuff, but there's just something that makes the days just like, it feels like Christmas was last week, and it wasn't. We're already in February.
And I think some of it is, you know, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Groundhog's Day, maybe before your time, but there's a Bill Murray Groundhog's Day. And it's one of those things where it's like just the whole thought process of, we wake up every morning, we basically do the same thing every single day, get home, eat, go to bed, get up and do it again tomorrow. And you just do that day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. And it's like, man, how do you kill the routine, right? But you have to have the routine, right? Because it's got to support life and everything else. What do you hope people say about you when you're not in the room?
I would say that I hope that people see my good character, know that I'm a down-to-earth, loyal, loving, good person who was raised right. Somebody that people want to be around, a leader. Yeah, someone that people want to be around.
Yeah, that's cool. I think people want to be around you.
Thank you.
I mean, I hear a little bit here and there, but I don't know. Anything we need to know about Brock that I haven't asked you?
I touched on the acting days earlier, but I guess we could go into a little more detail.
Yeah, what you said you were in a movie.
Yeah.
What movie were you in? Home Alone?
No.
Oh.
So I was 14, I want to say, 13 or 14, and
Saved by the Bell. No.
The 420 movie, Mary and Jane.
No way.
It was a low-budget film, never made it to theaters or anything like that, and it actually took 4 years to get released, I think, because this is how low budget it was.
Keep running out of money.
I think that the director thought that we were 18.
No.
And I don't know if I'm not sure. I could be completely wrong, but I don't know if there's some law in place or something that he could have gotten in trouble. But literally the movie released in 2018 when me and the other girl that were in the movie turned 18.
No kidding.
It took that long. And we never got any information on when it was coming out or anything. I just, every year, a couple times a year, I would just look for it. And finally in 2018, when I had finally turned 18, it popped up. And I remember thinking to myself, what the hell took so long? And my mom pointed that out to me. She's like, you know what?
You just turned 18.
I wonder if that
Are we
is
past some type of statute of limitations or something?
Could be a weird coincidence, or he could have been trying to avoid something. But yeah,
I'm gonna have to go look for that movie on YouTube.
I could show you the clip after this. I'm only in a minute and a half scene. Okay. Yes, we obviously it's a movie about marijuana and partying and stuff, and we were just I have a sister and a mom and dad, and we're just cruising through town. And we get pulled over by a police officer who sees, because we're a white family, and pulls us out of the car, and just kind of a little comedy scene. It throws Skittles in my face, pins the dad on the ground, and is saying some
that's
funny things to him. And yeah, just goofy little movie. But I was also in a Frosted Flakes commercial that aired. I made the most money off of that one. I was actually in I was like the stunt guy. So I remember...
Like Tony the Tiger Frosted Flakes?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yep. So I remember going down to LA for those auditions, and they told us that we were going to have to ride a bike. I grew up riding bikes. That's all we spent all our time outside. Mm-hmm. That's all we did. And I remember going down to LA for that audition, and it was at some baseball fields. And I brought my bike with me because they said during the audition, you're going to ride a bike and you're going to hit some baseballs. And all these other kids from that local LA area, I was the outsider that was traveling in from a small desert town that was doing that stuff every day. Yeah. All these local kids, they literally just had these cones on a baseball field, and I've never seen so many uncoordinated people. These kids couldn't even ride the bike. It was the craziest thing I'd ever seen. And I remember being like, oh, I can't wait for my turn. I'm about to shred around these cones, And that's what I did. They had these cones set up, and I brought my own bike, and the bikes they had there were like beach cruisers with the back kick, brake. And I, weaved through the cones and did it with ease. And during the baseball scene, that was about the time when I was still playing baseball. I think I was probably 5th grade. And so they're throwing me pitches, and like same thing. These kids, I don't know what the heck they do down there in those big cities. They must just stay inside all day because they're swinging and missing, and I'm just cranking these balls. Yeah. So when I get the call back for a second audition, I'm like, oh, I got this locked down. I'm for sure going to be one of the main guys. Well, didn't get the opportunity to be the kid that was right in front of the camera swinging the bat, but I was the one that in the commercial that was on the bike doing the tricks and stuff. Yeah.
That's funny.
The skid, and I got to be in the background like during the baseball scene where the kid hits the ball and I'm up against the fence cheering and stuff, but I was the stunt one that was doing the skid on the bike and that type of stuff.
That's cool.
So that commercial is like we're all on bikes, and the group just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So we're riding to each kid's house, and their bike's like laying on their front lawn, and they see us out the window, they come out, and then all of a sudden there's 20 of us riding to the baseball fields, and we end up having a little pickup baseball game.
That's cool. Has anybody reached out to you and said, I saw you on the commercial?
No, because the only scene that you can really see my face was it was kind of blurred out because I was in the background. The one in the stunt, it was just kind of from my waist down on the bike.
Gotcha.
And then I was in a WWE commercial for Mattel, not one that aired on TV, but one that I guess they film these commercials and send them to the stores to see if it would be a good product that they think they could sell, something like that.
Okay.
And then the movie. So I was in 2 commercials in the movie, and I went down there to audition for probably 100 things.
Wow.
But it's tough. You go down there, and it's a little studio room with 200 kids in it, and it's just boom, boom. So we drive 2.5, 3 hours down to LA during the week. You sit and wait an hour plus for your turn to go in because there's so many kids. and you're in the room for 30 seconds. There's cameras everywhere. These people ask you some questions or give you a little prompt to act it out, and you're gone in 30 seconds.
Wow.
And that was one of the things I was over. I'm like, we're driving all this way for a shot in the dark.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I scored a couple, but one, nothing major. And also, like, the chances of you actually getting called on for something were very slim because they had so many kids to choose from.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's one of the things I look back on and think about, too, to this day is I'm like, man, if I stuck with that, where could I be right now? Could I be some big-time actor or something, you know?
Right.
But,
maybe someday you could go back to it.
Yeah, maybe.
Take an acting class or something.
So my dad's sister did it when she was a kid, and my grandma told my mom she thought it'd be a good idea. So we got some professional headshots taken, and I went and interviewed with a couple different agencies, and one of them really liked me and signed me on. Hollander Talent Group.
There you go. Big time. No Nickelodeon or Mickey Mouse Club, but
nope.
Work on your tap dancing, I guess. Well, shoot, I've really enjoyed getting to know you better. I have one more question for you, and we'll kind of wrap it up. But has there been a time in your life where you showed up in a way that really surprised you?
Gosh, some of these questions are deep, man. I love it, but I really got to think.
Nothing? That's okay.
I don't know.
Things to think about as you go through your day. You know, I mean, it could be a hit in football. Did you ever get an interception as a linebacker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never, youth through high school, none.
Yeah.
College is when I finally got my hands on some.
Yeah.
Best feeling in the world. I returned one for a touchdown my junior year, called my first year at Sac State. And I think that's probably one of the most exciting moments of my career. Just
that's got to be.
You know?
Yeah. That's got to be. Well, shoot. Well, Brock, I really appreciate it. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
Had a good time getting to know you a bit.
Definitely.
And if you ever think about some of those questions and you wake up, you let us know. Inquiring minds want to know. So anyways, well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. This is Brock Mather, and I went above and beyond.
Stories we share beyond the fairways, friendships grow in APN's embrace, opportunities flow. No happy talking, just real deals, authentic connections, the kind that heals. From Palm Springs to Pine Top's Grace, APN's network spans every place. Above Par Network, we're going above and beyond, reaching new heights. In networking realms, scaling the heights. From mixers to golf, our spirits unite. APN's the beacon, our guiding light. So here's to APN, where dreams align. In every connection, a chance to shine. Above and beyond, we'll always strive. In APN's network, we truly thrive.
Before you go, if you want marketing that actually moves the needle, check out lzrmarketing.com. Expert marketing solutions for your business. From websites and social to ads that convert, Sexta, Liz and Riley help you stand out and grow. That's LZR Marketing, laser focused on your success.
Like, share, and subscribe to Above and Beyond, where excellence meets elevation. Elevate your mindset, one episode at a time.